Okay, so my next stitch is not my most favourite stitch to do, but it's a necessary stitch. Sometimes we need to do it. I'll just put this one away, and that one goes in there. And I'm thinking I need something bright and cheery for a stitch that I don't love. Maybe some bright pink. Where is it? Where has it gone? Oh, it would have to be over here under the tags. No, it's not there. Yes, it is. I'm going to have this bright pink to start off with. This is bright for me. And we are going to do blanket stitch. Now, blanket stitch is also a stitch that quite often people use around the edge, raw edge of fabrics to, you know, slow the fraying process. It's not my favourite, but anyway, we will do it. I think I'm going to have to go, I haven't done it for a while. No, I'm going to start. Yes. Okay, start here. Is that where I'm going to start? No, just a minute. I'm going to start down lower. So we'll do normal. I'm going to start here, and then you hold it with your thumb, come up here and catch the loop, and you do the same again. It's not hard, it's just figuring out where to start. So I started at the bottom and went to the top over here, but I moved over here, held it with my thumb and caught the loop. So let's watch again. You may have to watch, if you're a right-hander, you may have to watch a right-hander. You just have to reverse what I'm doing. Ariane Zersha, she does it. She can do both sides. She's a lefty, but she can show how to do it right-handed. I don't know if she's done blanket stitch. So this is a fairly standard blanket stitch here. So you can see what I'm doing. I've come up down here. I'm coming over here, and then coming down there, like directly under, and I'm catching the loop. So you need to hold your thread off to the side, and that is your buttonhole stitch, the basics. Now this is a pretty big one, but you can do all kinds of variations with it, but I'm not going to show all the more complex ones because I think it's enough. Well, I haven't done them all myself, but it's enough to, you know, to have to keep up with everything as it is. So I'll end that off. So you just basically come over and anchor down your little loop there, and then end it off. So I'll just finish that, or I think I'll finish it off with that. Maybe I'll just pick up another thread and start, just finish off, but I thought maybe I would just continue on with this one, just so I don't waste them, the threads that are these bits and pieces. So to start, if I had to start up again, I come up here, hold my thread over there and loop and catch the loop. You can see how nice it is with the beautiful threads. And of course this will not be enough to go to the end. Now I've zoomed in 1.5. I don't dare go any closer than that because it might not focus. So that's the end of that. And I'll grab another one and end it off just so it's a multicolored row of blanket stitch. And then I'll come back, we'll do another row with variations. So I'll put you on pause and I'll be back. Didn't stop? Did not stop. Okay, so I've just taken a wool here and I've done a double row of wool. Like, not double row, I took 2 strands of the wool, and so it's very thick. And I'm going to show you what you can do with that. Now, these are only 3 strands, but it might work. Just using my crewel needle, which is really easy to thread, and it's actually very sharp. It's a bit thick, but it's going through this very easily. So what you can do here, and I like to start, I don't know why, on the opposite end, is you can whip it. So you could do Pekingese stitch. I'm not going to confuse you now. So whipping, we can whip it like we whipped our running stitch, our back stitch, like this. And you can add another colour. I wanted to show you that. Oops. Oh, I'm always unthreading. I like the look of that. Looks like it's a rope. Of course, you can do your blanket stitch. Did I call it buttonhole stitch before? I think I did. It's similar. Buttonhole stitch is very much closer together and smaller. So you can do, of course, you can do mini of these blanket stitch. Make them smaller, make them closer together. I'll show you. We'll do that now. We'll do a couple of little variations in the rest of the row. So we're there, we've whipped it. Okay, put that aside. And now, don't know what I've done there. I've pulled it through by accident. I pulled through the tail of my knot is what I've done. Anyway, I'll play with that afterwards. Now we can do, I've taken an orange. Oopsie. Oh, we'll take this orange because it unraveled all by itself. Maybe I'll use all 6 strands so you can see better. So I've done these a fairly similar size, but you can also do short and long. So I'll show you. They have a different effect. So start at the side. It's like a back, you start off with a backwards L. Does that help? So long, do your long tail. And I'm also going to do them closer together. It's a backwards L. And then when I say short, I mean this stem or whatever leg is short. See? Long. And I'm doing them a little bit closer together. And short, so you can create a different effect. So long and short. Just think to yourself, backwards L. Oh, I wonder if you right-handed people will be doing a regular L. Maybe you would be. I'm doing a backwards L because I'm a lefty. That could be it. Okay, so that's the long and short. You can go round in circles as well with your blanket stitch. And then you can also do little teeny tiny ones, really close together. So let's do that. This is very thick, this thread, so just bear with me. We'll do little teeny tiny ones, really close together. You could do long ones close together. Maybe we'll do that. There's my little teeny tiny short ones. And now we'll do long ones close together. For yet another look. So you can just see how these variations just pop into mind as you go along. And I think we've arrived to the end of the row. So we'll anchor it down, and that is blanket stitch with lots of little variations. Oh, and you could do the row, you could alternate by a number of long and shorts as well too. That could be cool. Okay. I mean, the possibilities really are endless. It's kind of a brownie orange, wasn't it? Okay, I think we need a turquoisey colour. And what am I doing next? Oh, we're doing blanket stitch weaving. Weavings. Oh, okay, weaving. Right. Well, what will we grab? Let's grab this colour. So for weaving, I probably should do myself an L. Like, what do I mean? Draw myself a shape for my weaving that I have to stay in. Okay. So we might start off with a basic weave. Okay, so now will I go right to, will I do a big one? Maybe I'll do it that big. So I'm doing parallel big stitches here. Trying to keep them more or less the same distance, and I'm trying to try and do as many as I need to create a sort of square shape. And I'm not going like, okay, I went down here. I'm not jumping up and coming up here. I'm coming up next to it, and that is why my thread will last long enough to create my square. Well, it should. I probably should have drawn one. So we all know what weaving is. I'll do one more stitch, I think. Okay. So you can weave through, or maybe I should do that, weave through with the same thread, or maybe I'll get a same type of thread but just a different colour so you can see the weaving. So we'll change colour. So I'll just grab another blue, I think. Maybe I might use this blue, the variegated blue. I have hardly used this. I'm using 6 strands, so we get a variation in colour. So this is going to be a loose weaving in the sense that I'm not doing my rows tightly, tightly attached to each other, if you know what I mean. So basically you're going, I'll take the back of my needle actually, so that I don't, because if you go with the point, you're going to split the thread. So go with the back because it's blunt. And you're going to weave it up and, up and over, under and over. That's what I want to say, like you're weaving. But use the back of the needle. There we go. Whoops. And then what I'm going to do, because I'm not doing it really tight, I'm going to actually go down and anchor it where it should be. And then I'm going to come up and start my next row. And this one has to go over first and then under. And what I mean, I'm not doing really, and don't be careful not to pull it. Well, you won't pull it too tight because you've anchored it down in through the fabric. It's not going to pull. And if I were doing really tight weaving, I would fill in the gaps. But this is loose. And so this one now I want to go over because I finished under. So if you finish under, you start over. If you finish over, you start under. Well, that's my theory anyway. And there we go, that one goes under. And you just have to jiggle it a little bit to make it sit where you want it to sit. more or less. So that one finished under, so I'm going to go over. Always using the back. See those ones what's happened there? I've done something weird there. Anyway. Don't worry about it, just keep on keeping on. Okay. So I've got to go under. Oh, I didn't do it on the other one. But, you know, like I don't worry about those things. If I didn't do it right, I don't care. Try your best. I think I've stitched 2 together there because they were closer. Okay, start again. Under, over, under, over, under, over. I need to go. I stitched those two too close together. There we go. I'll do one more row and then that's done, and then we'll do some more. I think I've stitched 2 rows together there, but it doesn't matter. And there we go. So that's my first little weaving bit. And then just end it off. Okay, I'm just going to put you on pause for a second. I'm back. So obviously you could do that tighter, that weaving. You could have it like totally covered so you couldn't see any background. You could also weave fabric, little strips of fabric, but I thought I might also do this shape. And I've got this very thick, beautiful wool that my sister gave me. I want to have this shape, I think. I've never done this before, so I might make a boo-boo. Just bear with me. And I might do this just with the same thread, I think. I think I probably should start at the bottom, but I'm going to... Yeah, I probably should start at the bottom, so I'm going to just try and come back through there. I don't want to have to thread it again. It's a nightmare. Let's just come out there. Oh, good, got it. And when you get a big hole like that, you just go like this behind with your nail and it just gets rid of the hole. Okay, so come up here. Now, it's quite hard because this thread is very thick, and I am dealing with hemp here. So I'm just going to start weaving this with the same thread. I probably should use the back of my needle. Now here I'm not going back down through the fabric, and I need to squish it down just like if I were really weaving on a loom. And also I want to make sure that I'm not pulling, and where I went under I need to go over. I can probably lift that. I'm just doing with a thick thread so you can get the effect of it, and then squish it down. You know, you could do petals of a flower like this. I've kept it fairly loose. So that's why I'm able to slide. But I don't want to pull it. You see, if you pull, look what happens. You don't want to do that. You just want to make sure you just readjust all the time. So I might go that way and there. I mean, that fun that you can have is just endless, isn't it? So under and over and then under. So just like regular weaving. You could even get your, you know, your blunt needle that you would use for weaving and use that for this. And just keep pushing it down so it tightens on itself. And you want it to fan out, so be careful not to pull. Here I am pulling. I'm going to squeeze in a few more. There we go. I like that. And then obviously come down into your fabric under there so that you can't see it. I don't want to go through my knot. Down in here. You can tell I just like trying out all the things, don't I? Big chunky knot there. Okay. Now we can also do a woven circle, and I'm just thinking, what colour would I like to use? We'll get the weaving done and then I think I'll finish up tomorrow. I want to use a wool. What about some purple? I'm going to do a darker purple. I probably should draw a circle. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to start off with. I'm going to start off. I've got lots of space here. Might have to. I'm going to stop after this. And then I will finish it off tomorrow. So I'm doing a cross here, but I'm doing individual stitches. And then I'm going to put in my other, you'll see in a second. I might think of some other weaving things to do, and then I do the turkey work, which is really cool. And then I'll have another one here. Actually, we're going to do two of these. I just remembered. So we'll do this one. I might weave it with wool again, just so it goes faster. So yeah, I just did a, you know, north, south, east, west, and then I put in between them a stitch as well. And I wanted to grab something thick. I know, in Sarah's I've got something thick, just so you can see it better than the thinner. What colour will we use? Oh, no, not that one. That one. That'll be pretty. Or, no, I think I like the orange. See, I would be tempted even not just not even cut that off. I don't know if I'll be able to thread this. Might. Oh, it's very good. Done. So, start in the center, and it's the same thing. Oh no, I have to cut it. Drat. Okay. So we just start under, over, under. So over that one, under that one, over that one, under. You want to, maybe I'll use the back of my needle. If you find yourself splitting your threads, you want to use the back of your needle. Oh, I think I've done the wrong number. I don't want to do that. I want to go over that one, and I missed one, I think, before. Like that I want to go. That's it. So you just keep doing that. So if you do it all with the same, then you won't be able to ever see the other colour, which is also a cool effect. And I've done it wrong. I've done the wrong number. That one I need to go over. I'll have to go under that one. I've done the wrong number of, I've done an even number of things, so it's not working. So you want to do one less. I have to go like that. I'll still make it work, but you don't want to do what I did. So basically you just keep on weaving around like that till you get to the end. So I'll just pause the camera and do that. Good morning everyone, it's Rachel here, and we are going to finish up this sampler. So I just did the spirally one. That's with ribbon, and that's with perle cotton, and it's best if you have uneven little spokes coming out. Here is the weaving. I did 6 base sort of stitches, and then I went over 3, under 3, over 3, under 3, coming backwards and forwards, and I'm going to leave that like that to remind myself. Here I had a thicker thread going one way, and then a thinner thread going the other way and more separated. And then here I did that I did an uneven number. This I did an even number of horizontal stitches, and then I did 2 together in a different thread, and then I left a gap, and then another 2, 2, 2, like that. Okay, I can't show everything because it's you know, taking too long. So now I'm going to do the turkey stitch. So I've got a nice thick piece of stranded thread, and I'm going to be creating loops. So I might leave them a little bit longer. Now the correct way to do it, well, the official way to do it, is to then have a stitch to anchor it. But I'm not going to do it that way. I just do the loops. That's how I do it. So you can decide. Just do the loops. And it does take a long time to do. So we won't video it all because the videos are really long. But just fill in. and hold your stitches over to one side so they don't get in your way. Doesn't matter if some are longer or shorter, because then we're going to trim it. So obviously I'm going to have to fill in this whole circle, or you could leave a space in the center and have your turkey work shooting out the side and then do knots in the center or something like that. So you just keep filling it in, doing them as close as you can together, holding them off to one side so they don't bother you. I'll do a couple more. And then when I'm towards the, I'll pause the video, do them, and then when I'm towards the end, I will come back and show you what happens next. It does take a while to do because you've got to fill it in, but it's very effective. And my sister's very good at this because she learnt, and she'll show you in her video, she learnt from Kath at the Happen store in Sydney. And Mum's very good at it too. Mum does it a lot on things. So you can see you can use a lot of thread. Now it's nice to use sometimes even a thread that changes colour, or a variegated thread, because then you get a nice effect. And 6 strands is going to make it all nice and fluffy. I might just put a little, I'll do one more. You know, when I get my new thread, I will pause the video and then I will come back and I will have nearly done all of it. I'm just going to anchor this and then I can end my thread off. I'll show you what it's looking like so far. We've only done the tiniest amount. To end that off, grab another long strand. So you don't want to, well, you might want to use your precious threads because they, you know, it looks good. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video. You can see what it looks like now so far. I'm going to pause the video and continue on, and then I will be back. Okay, so I'm back, and there are all my loops. Now, we need to grab our scissors. I'm going to grab my rubbish basket here, and you need to snip all your loops. So go through and snip them all. Careful not to snip your stitches up anywhere near it. Now, I've done so many stitches in mine, they're really not going to go anywhere. But you can do the anchoring down method if you want to. I just sort of run my scissors through and see where I can feel other loops. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so fluff it out a little bit. I don't know if I've got any more loops there. Okay, fluff it out a bit, and then I'm just going to hold my fabric back. And then I'm going to trim it like you would trim a pom-pom. Give it a bit of shape. You can see how using a variegated thread is really great because you get all the different colours. Let's have a look. Just takes a minute to sort of get it. But I could even trim it down further if I wanted to, which I might do, because, and it will really start to look like a pom-pom sitting on your, I'm trimming it down further because I'm thinking about the bulk. Let's have a look. So trim it down until you have a shape that you're really happy with. And then you still have to sort of fluff it about a little bit and then trim off the strays. Okay, so with this next one, I've still got a few strays here. Giving it a haircut, but you've got this nice fluffy ball there. Okay. And there's my little pom-pom sitting on my piece of fabric. It's a bit of a mess, but I can still tidy that up after another time. Okay, so that's my turkey work. Oh my goodness, and more keep revealing themselves to me. Okay, that's my turkey work. It needs a bit of tidying up, a bit of a haircut. And then my next one, all I'm going to do with this one is the same thing, but I'm going to leave the loops. What I might say about the leaving the loops is I wanted to use a wool, I think, and I put my wools away, and I don't want to take up your time. Let me just grab. Put some down, just down here. Okay, I've got some woolly sort of things here. I might use, that's too thick. I might use this one. I'll just get it started and then I'll finish it and then come back and show you. Super fun sampler, this one. So I'm going to, like with this one, you can even just come down from the top and hold your little piece, your thread, and then can start looping. With this one, I'm going to come from the bottom. I think I did on the other one as well, but you don't have to. And so then, and you can anchor them. I don't want these to be too long. So I'm just going to be leaving my loops. So in that case, you want to make sure that they are a fairly similar height. And I might not do them quite as densely as the others, as the previous one. It's going to be a little bit more fiddly because I've got the lumpy one next to it. So I will just pause the video and go on and fill all of this in. You can see I'm not going quite as densely as the other one. And this is a nice thing to do in the center of a flower. Obviously my circle here is quite big. Just need to fit another one in there. So you sort of get the idea, they're going to be loopy like that. So I will continue doing that and then be back. Okay, yay, I'm done. So that's the loopy. So we've got cut loops and then I left the loops free. So there we go, guys. I did it. It took a long time. I'm going to put my video up, or if you're watching the end of this, you will know that by now. I'm putting my video up, 2 videos up. I'm just going to divide them so you can watch them in 2 rounds. Yeah, and thank you so much. If you're able to last the distance, then thank you so much. And I hope you enjoyed it, and have fun with your stitches and explore. See you again soon. Bye.